just love Once Upon a Time. I think it makes so much more fun for the story. Once upon a time, there was a man, and he was attending a circus type event. And he got one of those, little VIP backstage passes things that you might get at a rock concert or a festival type thing where you get to go and you get to see behind the scenes and you get to meet the performers. And he got one of those kinds of deals for this. And in his backstage pass, what he got to do is he got to walk around and see where the trainers were and see all the different animals and get up close with them. He got to meet the dancing pig and Fido the flipping dog and Larry the lion and Benny the badass goat. And when he got over to where the elephants were, something took him by surprise. What he saw was these elephants, the biggest mammal on the physical earth, one of the more powerful animals ever to walk the face of the earth, being held by this little tiny stake driven into the ground and a rope around their leg. And he thought to himself, why? I mean, those guys could break away any time. They could run away. There's no way that could hold them back. I could pull that stake up, no problem. I could break that rope, no problem. How can the elephant stay there? So he approaches the trainer and asks him. And he says, hey, excuse me, I just couldn't help but notice the rope you have attached to the ankle of the elephant and the little stake. And how does the elephant not run away? He said, I'm amazed that holds them in place. And the trainer looks at him and he says, well, it's not exactly the rope that holds them in place. You see, what happens is when they're very young, we start training them. And we put them on the stake with the little rope. And at the time when they're very young, they're not strong enough to pull the rope. So the rope is strong enough to hold them back. And we condition them over time that every time they try to escape, every time they try to run away, the rope's going to pull them back. And eventually with time, they learn that even though they're stronger, even though they've grown, they still think they're too weak to pull away. They're still too weak to think that they pull away, that they can get away, that they can break away from the chain that holds them back. They can break out of the rope. They can pull their stake from the ground. And so in turn, what ends up happening is they remain here whenever we put them here, because they think that's just who they are and that's where they belong. And the old man, the man who was listening to this was so amazed because he grasped at this concept of how many of us have chains in our life that hold us back. He started to look at his own life and think about how many of his past challenges did he have, or his past attempts at living or doing things that he have that he didn't do because he believed that there was a rope holding him back. Maybe he was like an elephant more than he thought. But here it was, one of the strongest animals on the planet, the biggest mammals to walk the face of the earth at this time, held back by a little tiny rope. And one of the more intelligent too, right? They say elephants are one of the most intelligent. What do they say? An elephant never forgets. The elephant's holding on to what was shackling him or her to the thing. The elephant's holding on to what they were taught. And even though it may not be the best wisdom, yet the elephant chooses to hold on to it. Isn't that interesting? Maybe some of you can relate. And at this point, I invite you all, what's the moral of the story? What is your takeaway from this? Is that an elephant emoji? Special effects in full effect. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, what's the moral of the story other than who has the best? Oh, I see elephant emojis popping up like crazy now on Facebook. Moral of the story, please share. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear. Break the chains. I like that. Break the chains. Moral of the story, break the chains. That's a powerful one. What else? What's your moral of the story? What's your takeaway? We have a couple more minutes for sharing, and then I have to run off and jump into the next meeting. We don't really know the strength we have within, and we can let the littlest thing hold us back. Yeah, I agree. Good takeaway from it. Good takeaway from it. I 100% agree. I see it actually time and time again is I work with people who will come to me and they know that there's something inside of them, but they don't know how to break through their own chains. And each and every time, oh, Periscope's got elephant emojis going too now. Each and every time they are once they're able to break away, you unleash and unlock this unstoppable strength that when they apply it to whatever they want to apply it with in their life, absolutely amazing things happen. We're the only ones that are truly holding ourselves back. That's really powerful. I like that. We need to let go of these bad, rusty trains. I definitely agree. Do wherever we want with our heart. Take a risk and see what happens when you break free. What is it like when you break free? More you can achieve. Oh, that went by fast. Where will you go in life? Just because it's always been doesn't mean it has to be. Don't let things hold you back even though if you weren't strong enough to change before. Oh, Periscope fades so fast. I hope I got that all. Hello, Malaysia. The moral is the foundations laid in our lives and our children's are good foundations for the future. My daughter has just started university, starting a fashion design course. I'm very proud of her. Awesome. Congratulations to your daughter. The moral is you are strong enough to break away. I like that. Very true. I think each and every one of us are strong enough to break away from whatever ropes or chains or stakes in the ground may hold us back. I've seen it time and time again in my work I do with people as well as experience in my own life, that the areas that we know that we need to break away from, even though we may doubt our strength, each and every one of us was born with a tremendous amount of strength that we just haven't been taught how to tap into it. And when we do, that's when the magic happens. I believe my ex for that very reason. Being positive instead of negative breaks the chains. Yeah, absolutely. Those are some good takeaways. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. I really garner a lot of value out of hearing what your takeaways are. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you all sharing and providing your insights because I learned too. And I hope that everybody watching this is learning from all that you all are sharing as well. I think unless there's anything else, we're the only ones who can truly identify or acknowledge chains exist. Oh, that's powerful. Yeah, I think sometimes we live under the illusion that they're not there, that it's just how it is. And what would we do? We play the blame game and we point the finger at everybody else and say it's their fault. You did this, you did that, you hurt me, right? And it's everybody else's fault for our lives going the way they have been. Once we are breaking the chains, who knows what can happen? Well, one thing's for certain, we don't have to rely on other people to make us feel a certain way then. Sometimes you have to break the chains away from your own thoughts. I 100% agree. Our thoughts are one of the biggest things that will handicap and hold us back. And most of our problems, I think would be solved if we broke the chains on our thoughts. Anything else? I think we're good. Watching from New Zealand, good story. Oh, thank you, New Zealand, for joining. New Zealand's going to be somebody that's in the future. It's going to be Wednesday morning for you, right? All right, everybody, I think that's it for today. So we're going to wrap it up. This has been today's edition of The Moral of the Story. I hope you'll be back here next Tuesday. We'll aim for our regular time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it this time. And I made sure I cleared my schedule around it so it won't be a problem. Periscope, Facebook Live, I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I appreciate all the shares, the comments, the hearts, the thumbs up, the things, and the elephant emojis. Those are a really pleasant surprise, so I appreciate the creativity of coming up with those really fast. I will hopefully be on here again this week if my time allows. If not, we'll be back here Monday at about 11. Actually, it's going to be a little bit different time on Monday. I'll let you all know as soon as I know. And then again on Tuesday for The Moral of the Story. All right, everybody, take care. Oh, and if you want to submit a question to Ask Jesse, be sure to look for that post Friday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time on the 1 Year 1000 Challenge page. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesdays. Enjoy your Wednesdays, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.